right, man. So I'm looking at the playoffs. It's rolling on. It's rolling on without us. So
Life goes on.
yeah. I mean, we had we had our run. So all we really could do now is sit back and even with like minimal speculation, try to figure out where we at next year. And it's my feeling that getting a taste of what it could be. That next year we could be gearing up to to try to win the chip. Like there's no more trying to fit in. Like we kind of know what the formula could be. And then even like we was talking about Trey and how certain ways that Philly is guarding him, and that only to me goes to when you score, you can set up your defense. So in the playoffs, we couldn't score, so we couldn't set our defense up. So that kind of helps Trey be able to, they get the ball off the rim and they off and running. And then the same thing with last night with the Nets game. You keep a game close, all of a sudden people don't shoot the same. Now there's a lot of clutch shooting right down the stretch, Nets in Milwaukee, but still when it's on the line, people fumble the ball, people mishandle passes, and then they even miss like wide open shots. So we have to look at where we're gonna go from there, and that's the point. What the Nets is doing now can only inspire us to just jump in next year and hit the ground running. So to me, it all starts right now with, well, first of all, it starts up front with management, but realistically, it starts with Randall. That name ain't going away, Joey. Starts with Randall and how he gonna come back. Not so much what he got to do in the regular season, but for us to be successful, he has to duplicate what he did in the regular season. We still have to have that, that type of power from him. But now, how do you grow in the playoffs now so that you don't have that same type of performance? And the best way to do that is to put real pieces around him without even tinkering way too much. Because you don't want to like add by subtraction. You want to move forward with this thing that the Knicks trying to do. So I'd look at, well, Randall getting better. Go back to the lab this summer, work on everything plus that you worked on last summer. Now it won't be the same time because I think he's gonna be one of the people in the Olympic tryouts.
I didn't see
Yeah, so I think that's gonna take time away from your training, and you can't knock. That builds your stock. But I wish he could just be in the gym now until the season starts.
Remember, some people usually get better when they go to the Olympics because now you're getting to play against those guys.
Yeah, you get to pick their brain. Yeah, I ain't knocking it. You just want to make sure his jumper come back the way it was.
Yeah, I want him to kind of learn more. It's crazy. I know we say this about Melo all the time, but I wish he'll just go train with Melo just to learn some more post moves because that spin around was good during the season, but he ain't had nothing else left in the tank.
Yeah.
To give them. It was just that turnaround jumper that they was anticipating.
Yeah, he had nothing to go to,
Yeah. So,
plus,
or at least Dirk learned that, because Dirk did the same thing for how many years?
Yep.
So just learn that, at least a little bit of off balance shot, get the knee up, so you can separate that space from you and the defender.
Yeah.
Something.
I mean, look at KD. I watch KD's spin move. On the baseline, that's Melo. that's Melo's spin move all day long.
Yeah, but KD, that's. I was watching KD last night, and I was on the phone with my boy, and KD just don't take no extra energy.
Yeah, he still set you up though. He's
talking about Giannis. If Giannis get a consistent mid range or he shoot better. Yeah. But Giannis tend to exert too much energy going to the basket. But he could just pull that mid range and.
Well, when you're confident in your jumper, that a lot of Melo moves was setting you up, but that was part of his move. Like the way Kyrie and them dribble all around. Part of Melo's move is to give the illusion that he's tricking you, moving you from side to side. He probably could get that shot quicker. So yeah, KD, when you're so confident in your jumper and you so long, you can just raise up.
Yeah.
Anytime you don't feel comfortable no more. Because KD be trying to set people up too.
Yeah, he was killing people.
Yeah, but when it don't feel right, he just raise up. And then you 6'11", and when you jump in the air, you 7-something. But ain't taking nothing from him. But, so all right, so I'm thinking about what the Knicks can do. So all this talk about Dame Lillard, from what I see, because nobody's saying their real sources. You don't supposed to name them anyway. So it sounds like the media is putting that out there in the atmosphere.
Well, they putting that Dame Lillard on the Lakers. You see him in the Lakers jersey.
Yeah, but I'm talking about as it retained to the Knicks, they're making it seem like, because one thing I don't think the Knicks will do, because learning from the past, presidents and GMs, you're not gonna put that out because he's not a free agent. So you're not putting that out there like that. So that's why it's not coming from inside the Knicks camp, because they're
pretty quiet.
Yeah, but the media is trying to put out there that the Knicks are going after Lillard. And why would anybody would really even try to put that out there to have to give up more than what you probably could have maybe gotten them for anyway? Now you got to give up a lot to get Lillard, but you're not going to put that out there and make the stakes go up higher.
Yeah, and then on top of that, my confusion always comes from if Lillard's not doing it with Melo and CJ McCollum, is he gonna be able to do that with just him and Randall? Like, if you give up, now you got to give up so much. That's like my thing. Like, you just stay quiet. He just he's gonna leave anyway.
Well, he's under contract, so he can't go nowhere.
I think I was watching the Joe Budden podcast. Even him, he was like, shoot, if y'all want Dame Lillard that bad, you got to really think about it. And I kind of agree with him. He said you probably gonna have to give up 4 players. Out of the 4 players, 1 person you don't want, and maybe like 4 draft picks.
Yeah.
He said whatever you want for Dame Lillard. Now it's gonna be excitement, but now he's gonna have to ball if that happens. We're gonna have to give up somebody we don't really want to give up 3 other players and draft picks.
Well, that's the savviness of, that for a guy like Dame, and only because the salary that we got our guys not on high end salaries. So that's no reason why you would be giving so much. If we had another legitimate star, like most teams would technically have 2.
There was a picture of a super team. I don't remember what it was. It was like Dame and 2 other people that was free agents.
Well, Dame ain't even a free agent. But
what I'm talking about was Dame and then 2 people that was free agents. I forgot who it was, but I don't know, man.
Listen, all right, Dame. If you can pry Dame away, right? You're not part with Randall. I'm sure they only want Randall in this case. Then you start looking at, because
it was like Dame, Kawhi.
Yeah, well, Dame and Kawhi. Well, one of them to me you got to go after, because Kawhi has a player option. So Clippers winning the championship, that's not a deal breaker to still try to go after Kawhi, because he done that before. Left out the championship with Toronto. So, okay, you have to look into all those possibilities, and I'm sure they're doing that. Look into all those possibilities on what we may be able to give up, and then 2, what could we get back? Because they give you Dame, they may give you Dame a little bit cheaper to take back another bigger contract, because they also going to lose some other pieces themselves. So they also got to be careful, what they do out there. So yeah, you have to try to go after Dame. You have to me, try to go after Kawhi. And if there's a way you can parlay both of them, you can parlay both of them, and then you lose Randall. Now you're not losing nothing.
Yeah, Kawhi.
If you did that,
yeah, Kawhi sounds like that would be like a perfect story for him. Because you Spurs, you get a ring. You go to Toronto. When the last time did he ever even get a ring?
No, that was the first time any sniffing that guy.
First time get a ring. You leave them, you go to LA, right? The Clippers. You get a ring with the Clippers, right? Now if you come to the Knicks and you do it with the Knicks, you automatically going to Hall of Fame. That's not even a thought.
Well, he going to Hall of Fame.
I'm talking about he going to the Hall of Fame,
yeah.
But it's almost like one of those like with Melo, like he All-Star, best scorer, like, and then Olympics.
Yeah.
Automatic. Nah, Kawhi. Now it's like it's not even a conversation. You go to the Knicks and get Knicks even in the finals multiple times. You ain't even got to get the ring. You get them in the finals multiple times. As Kawhi Leonard that did it on other teams.
Yeah.
That was going to be like, oh yeah, you are the.
Yeah.
You definitely the truth. Like whatever you're doing on the court.
And he will go down as one of the greatest Knicks because he's a two-way player.
Yeah.
Kawhi come here. You definitely just have to put some shooters around him.
And Knicks media, they love those quiet players. They, for some reason, why I feel like media, they hate players that's outspoken.
Yeah, but So
Kawhi, boring, get the job done. Maybe do a little peace sign when he do good.
Yeah, but that's why our media will turn on him, because they want that material. They want that. They pry stuff out of you, and he's not going to give it. He may even come off nasty to you and you keep asking me to say I'm not answering it, until all of a sudden when the media, they could turn New York against you by the stuff that they write.
I would like to see that Kawhi Durant kind of battle with the Nets, Atlanta will be not even a factor. Now next year Atlanta's gonna be like they probably all still gonna be a villain. I don't think I like that either. Now that I think about it, I ain't like how he was doing this.
No, I don't see. To me, he ain't that talking junk. That's good for TV. He didn't. It was us. We couldn't score. If we score, we set our defense up. He's just doing his regular game. But because we not scoring and he's up there running up and down the court, when they get, when Capella them guys get the rebound, now it just looks better.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, so that didn't even bother me.
All right, so I thought about it. I know we brand new to the Knicks YouTube, but I would like to see more beef in the NBA, even if it's all in good fun.
Oh yeah, yeah.
When PJ Tucker last night was in KD Fair, I love that.
Yeah.
Like, y'all probably are cool. But nah, get in each other's face. Let's be mad at each other. Atlanta, like, let's go in the regular season now and let our rival be Atlanta this time. Boston ain't been doing that really.
Nah, Atlanta, we got but we got to think bigger than Atlanta.
I'm talking about we got to think bigger than Atlanta, but let's go over there and get a point guard that's like, yeah, you ain't doing none of that stuff you did last year on the we shutting that down. Like, I want somebody to say that, like, we shutting that down. We doing this.
No, the way to do that is score. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mitchell Robinson come back. You know he got words.
Oh, yeah, but Mitch got to come back on fire. All right, so look at the alternative to me. There's a lot of speculations on who people the Knicks could get, right? And as of right now, there's really no wrong answers because the Knicks once we know which direction they want to go in, then you can really start trying to, like, in your mind, plug in pieces. So I was just looking at, too, if you can't land the big fish, then what are the next tier things that still keep us competitive and we still could be thinking about a championship? So I was thinking about, like, Spencer Dinwiddie, right? I was waiting for you to say he's a 6'6", two-way guard, and he can play both guard positions, right? And he is a relentless attacker. Because we need not just shot makers, we need like scorers, guys who coming at you no matter what position or what's the way the game is being played. If it's fast, he can still come at you. If it's slowing down, he can still shoot and get buckets. And then let's say you pair him up with a DeMar DeRozan, another offensive skilled player who's constantly going to be on the attack, right? And now you get to keep Randall because I think DeRozan was around 26, something like that, mil, but his price tag will probably have to come down, right? Because he's also unrestricted. And then Dinwiddie, there was talk that he could be had for 13 to 16 mil. That's peanuts, right? So if you got to throw a couple of extra chips at him for the work you're going to put on with him, then you go ahead and do that, and that now you're able to keep Randall. Now, to me, that line, and if you still want to, you can still start RJ.
And right. I still think we still got to go find another shooter who could probably from somebody. But
off the bench.
Now that I'm cool with that. Even if we don't get nobody else after that, I'm cool.
Well, look at my lineup. If that was the case, now, okay, Dinwiddie at point guard, right? RJ can stay at the 2, DeRozan the 3. Our 2 and our 3 pretty much play the same position, and with the team that we had last year. Then Randall, and then Mitch, and then coming off, you could have Rose, Quigley, Bullock, Obi, and then if you don't retain, Nerlens, then you can go with Taj. Now the trick to this is, for me, well, two things. One, first we need more upfront scoring because our Randall gave us the 25 to 35, right? When Mitch was healthy, he started getting the 15 because a lot of the putbacks, but we need another 25 to 35 points from our front court players. Because what Bullock and Burke did, we played small ball in that sense. So their points went to the backcourt. But when we had Morris, he was a big 3. Damn, so his points went to the front court. Well, so we don't have that. So we need more upfront scoring from somebody or 2 people besides Randall. So that means Mitch and Obi are the ones with the potential to come back to give you that extra 25 to 30 points, from the front court, be it starting or off the bench. We have to have more front court production. So now when you bringing them guys off the bench like that, you got a guy like Bullock. Now all you got to do is shoot, and you can still when you come in, you can still come in and try to guard the best small forward on down player. DeRozan is not known as a defender, but in our defensive schemes, he could pick that up. Dinwiddie could do both. RJ now he could stay in the starting lineup if people love him that much, you know, and still do what he got to do to get better, but contribute to the team. And then you bring in your other sniper shooters. You know, another ball handler, another point guard you got to have sitting on your bench for injuries. But you bring in another sniper shooters because the guys you have are going to play a lot of minutes. You know, you want to bring them guys in and not have, you know, having them put up, you know, 30, 35 minutes a game. So your other guys that you need some other real shooters coming off the bench to fill in when people are out or come in and get you some long threes.
You know, it's crazy. Two people, because you just mentioned Morris, him and Bobby Portis. Like, damn, we could have used them. Like, and Bobby Portis, he ain't even really hitting that many shots. It's just his intensity on the court is crazy.
Yeah, but he had a lot of those games, though. A lot of Milwaukee games.
When he go missing.
Giannis would find him for them threes.
Yeah.
But again, both of them players, I like when we had them last year.
But when we were saying we got to get rid of one.
Well, because everybody played the same position.
I was like Bobby Portis because Morris, I like the intensity he brings.
Yeah.
Like, I really didn't want to get rid of Morris.
I didn't really want to get rid of neither one of them. But when you don't have a star, see, they can play the way they're playing because you're on teams with stars. So the focus ain't on you. So you can get lost in the crowd, even though Giannis was always looking for Portis. You could tell he likes having him on his team. But Giannis probably also likes having somebody that got my back. Because, you know, Portis, you know, that Arkansas boy, he got you. He got your back. But, you know, but by bringing in, though, a Dinwiddie, and there's other people. So these aren't just like, you're just saying that you want to always be on the offensive attack. You know, when we playing other teams that even if Randall is struggling, then it don't matter. He could do the other things because we got guys that can put the ball in the hole no matter what. You know, so we just can't only rely on just having shooters now. We got to get guys that can put the ball on the floor also that still could shoot. And DeRozan with the mid-range and Dinwiddie from the three-point line all the way in, get you a bucket at any given time. But that offensive pressure and attacking, now we're even way harder to guard on a day in and day out basis. And the way he coaches this team is like, who do we even really have to fear? Yeah, the Nets will have better players, but we still can match you point for point.
Crazy? I was looking at them last night without Harden there, and I said this, they don't even really look that scary because after that, they really don't have nobody.
Yeah, but they got a lot of shooters.
They got a lot of shooters,
they got a lot
of
shooters.
Ain't nobody.
Yeah, no, not that they're not nobody, just that when KD and Kyrie, like the first game, you see the way they was passing the ball to them other guys. They was drawing the double team and just kicking. It was because the first game between the two of them, they only had like 20 and 25 points.
Well, but that is the same thing we talk about those Knicks that was on the bench. I forget their names, but you can't teach that. Like this was my complaint about the Knicks in the playoffs. I can't make you hit a shot. I don't care how much I coach you. I can't make you want to go out there and score. So that's what the Nets players is doing. Maybe they confidence come from having KD and Kyrie. That was my point with Randall. Like, Randall's not really making nobody better. He's kicking it out. He's pushing the ball, but he's not making you hit a shot. True, but he's getting triple teamed. He's still not doing that. But I can't make.
Yeah,
I mean, and then Randall defense. Same thing with Melo back in the day. I can't make y'all hit a shot. I can't, like, when I kick it to y'all, I can't make y'all hit a shot. But it's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah, because Randall, what he did start doing, the way he started before the playoffs, the way he was looking for Bullock, because they was having because Bullock said we had these conversations when they would do those late night shooting rounds. So you was helping to make Bullock better. So now he can move around the court into his regular spot when you make your move, knowing that you're coming to me. You know, so now I'm ready for my shot. He didn't make out, but that's another way where he can grow this summer. You got to come back the way you left in the regular season, and then you add the other intangibles to your game.
Like with the Knicks, if they were just at some point, I feel like they were selfish. Like when I replay stuff back in my head, you know if Bullock is your shooter and he is shooting like that off the dribble or off a quick screen, and he got to kind of just throw it up real fast. Y'all could have took 2 seconds to double screen him. You know, because it wasn't like y'all was running any offensive plays.
But yeah, but remember we said that's where it come from. That's where the coaching parts came from, and that's why I kept saying we need an offensive. Our second guy coach off the bench has to be an offensive minded person, not a person that's telling you to push, but telling you where to be. Those are plays.
That's probably where the money gonna go.
Well, you don't have to pay because Witchen, I'm pretty sure made a hefty salary. So you plug in the offensive guy. He don't got to be a high-powered guy, but he has to know his offensive sets. And you can get guys in and out of sets for those type of shots. We add that on top of some better players. You know, because all time to me, as great as he's on defense, he needs help on the offensive end. He might got his regular plays he run, but you leave too much up to the players.
Yeah, all I really heard him say was shoot
and push. Right, he was telling them, but again, you can do that out in the street. Push the ball. You can do that when you're coaching in the rec league. Push the ball, okay. But when you're pushing the ball and it means something, a rhyme and a reason, everybody running somewhere for a reason. You know, Steve Nash would push it straight down the middle. Amari and the Matrix, they running down for the alley-oop while Joe Johnson and Quentin Richardson are running to the three-point line. So as soon as he hit the three-point line, they could just shoot it. You know, if they don't shoot it, Amari's rolling to the rim. One of them guys. So they had a reason how you run. That's what we need. But our reason need to be, how do we get our shooters open when we running? Where are those little sets that people pop out, you know, in the course of running a shot? Because I guess we're going to be a shooting team.
I think it was easier going back to the Morris and Bobby Portis, like that little spurt. They have their back to the basket most of the time when they playing. Or they'll go they'll go into a post move. Like even Morris, they'll go into like a post setting. It's easier to kick it back out to a shooter instead of now when you got RJ Barrett, Randall dribbling.
Yeah, but you think about it though, Portis and Morris, their shots for us came on the perimeter.
No, it came on the perimeter. Yeah. What I'm saying is they'll back their man down. So a lot of the kickouts is easier.
Yeah.
Everybody we think of on the Knicks, they just front-facing dribble move, go to the basket. RJ Barrett, Randall Randall would do that turnaround, but majority of the time he trying to dribble, go around. Burks. Who else? We got Quickly. Even Obi Toppin.
Well, that's where they're going to come in at. Obi, a college player, was a back-to-the-basket college player. So that's where him and Mitch is where our inside game is going to come from. Now, if you can't get that, then you have to go out and get front court help. You got to get, and there was some people in the draft last year, some big men that play down low. Like I wouldn't even be opposed if you go out there. I think he was on, was it New Orleans or the other Okafor, the one that went to Duke, Jahlil Okafor. Like the plugging somebody once in a while that can get a basket down low. But there's other people out there that could do that because you have to have that. So if you're not going to let Mitch do it and develop Mitch to do that, you gotta bring in people off the bench that you could dump that ball into. It just makes the game make sense.
Well, hopefully Quickly come back stronger too.
Yeah, but you're talking about a back to the basket player. Quickly gonna come back better. Yeah, he gonna come back better. But again, we ain't talking about thrusting him into the starting line. You probably could, but now you on the upward swing.
Do you put him at the 2?
When he comes in for it. Derek can come in if we keep Derek. He can come in at the point.
I'm sure we're gonna keep Derek.
Quickly can come in at the 2, but they're still interchangeable.
Keep that foreign dude unless he trade bait.
Well, but again, we don't know. Yeah, depending on what he could actually really bring, you got to have people at the end of your bench anyway.
Yeah, and then we probably, say we did bring in Dinwiddie. I don't really think, now that I'm thinking about Derrick Rose, probably don't want to start.
Nah, he can't, but he can't play all the minutes.
Yeah, he probably don't want to start.
Yeah, he may want to
or
start.
If he want to start, he probably want to share the start.
But I think we should bring in.
And then RJ Barrett.
Look, we'd have scoring and defense, shooting. We would have everything in that front line, depending on how Mitch and them other guys come back. Mitch got to come back with more offensive repertoire. He has to, and as high as he jumped, and he got decent footwork. But you run the right plays for him, cross plays where he can get the ball and just jump over the man to lay it in. You know, don't have to be a dunk. But learn to get that ball down low, then you can learn how to throw it back out.
Well, him being hurt, hopefully he come back with those post moves. Because if you're only going to catch alleys and go to the hole and dunk and kick it back out, that's on you. Now, if you get the ball and you start making an assertive effort to go score, then it's different.
Yeah, but habit is taught, so you got to teach that.
I mean, because it look like we always say, it look like he can do it. They just don't do it to him.
Yeah, and when they do throw it down to him, he's like he's out of whack, and he throw up some crazy weird shot because you're not used to it.
But at some point, remember my mistake even in high school. At some point, you probably just gotta say, "No, forget it. When I get the ball, I'm doing what I want to do."
But you don't get it. I know, but you in this case,
you don't get it. Yeah, when you don't get it, yeah. But you probably gotta try to seize the moment. As hard as it is.
Well, hopefully these coaches,
like you in the NBA, just like try to seize the moment because you could do it. I noticed now you could do it in practice all you want. They're gonna be, oh, he doing it in practice, but we don't need him to do that.
Yeah.
So I feel like with Mitch, they just tell him we don't need you to do that.
Well, that's what, and that's what he tweeted out one time early in the season. Mm-hmm. That same thing, he wanted to do more than alley oops, but and our big men don't even got the opportunity to do that because even when they get the ball, it's up by the foul line or somewhere like that for the handoff. So they don't even get the ball around the basket to just say, "I'm doing this." We don't get it thrown in there for that. So it's even hard for him to even be selfish himself because he's not. The only time you get to touch it is the handoff at the top.
Yeah, we dragging it out, but I say this every year: the big men winning the playoffs and the championship. Look at Rudy Gobert. You know what I mean? Capella just killed us down low.
And look at Gobert.
AD, he got hurt. Now they couldn't do nothing. So what? Now your big man's gone. You out. Yeah. So now it's all about the big man in that down low game. I know.
But they never. But I know.
It's a guard game. It's a guard game. It's a guard game.
Yeah.
But when the big men not doing good, you not winning.
Listen,
they get the rebounds, the garbage points. They tiring out the team. They're wearing down the big man is what's doing.
We did a whole episode early in the season, if you remember, that was titled "The Big Man Is Not Dead." It ain't never been dead. You know, just the NBA decides who they want to promote. You look at Donovan Mitchell. He's when they mic'd him up the other game, he's constantly telling Gobert how to be aggressive, how to set the tone. People are talking to their big men. You seen Trey talking to Capella, telling him, be ready for this, be ready. So even though I'm pushing the ball up the court, you be ready. So that makes Capella run a little harder because somebody's gonna throw it over the top for you to get that easy bucket. So it makes people play better. We got to add into that game also.
What, MVP?
Yeah. So look at that.
Joel Embiid. They ain't even talking about Philly if Joel Embiid ain't healthy. So it's all, to me, NBA is still all about the big men. It's just we not looking at it like that because the guards are dribble heavy. They bring the fans. We want to say, the crossovers.
Yeah.
But now the big men is coming out to the 3-point line shooting.
Let me throw this name at you then, since it ain't a big man, but to me it's way too much money. But the name is circulating now, and then you got the Kentucky ties and all the front court stuff ties and the World Wide West ties. I was losing my mind on this. John Wall. His name is slowly starting to circulate out there again.
Yeah, but John Wall, only thing about John Wall,
he would have to come cheap.
He's another one. Like
because he get hurt too much.
If he can't do it with Bill, he couldn't do it with what he had. He had Bill and he had Dwight Howard, right?
Yep.
Like if you got both of those, like you're not doing it with the Knicks. You know what I mean? Like I just coaching is one thing, but at some point, you as a player, we just talking about the selfishness. You got to change something.
Yeah, you got to change something. I mean, that team they had, that one they should have better. They should have had more of a disciplined coach, because when you had that team, you just got your two guards just run them down the court, turn and turn, scoring. You didn't even let Howard even play his game.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like
but some of it is coaching. Like at this point now, well, see, Wall to me it would be a waste for us if you got Rose, because now you can't have two old guards now. You got to bring Dinwiddie's only 26, something like that, 26, 27. He's still relatively a young guard.
But these
you can't have an old guard.
These role players to me is more consistent. Maybe they don't run down their body as much as these superstar players. But if you couldn't do it like Harden and KD, they didn't do it in OKC, but Harden had to kind of change his game or tweak his game a little bit in his head. Like maybe I gotta just do this to do this. Same thing with Kyrie. Maybe I gotta be Robin to LeBron's, you know what I mean, Batman.
But
Maybe
see,
I got it. Like, it's a mental thing.
Yeah, but
so
you gotta
you're
look
not mentally gonna change your game.
But part of that, yeah, that's absolutely right. And part of that is that, like the people you just named, it's easy to tweak your game when you can shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, now if I got to stand back when the ball comes, at least I know I can still hit a basket. See, Wall's thing is if he don't got the ball going end to end, that's where is his value?
Yeah, he's not,
because he can't shoot. Yeah, he can streak shoot. So where's your value when you're not on? And if we got an offensive coach that can still put you in sets, now he can bring an advantage. Because he could get his own. I mean, he could get his own shot. Yeah, like you got to guard him. You got to. He'll match up with any other guard that's across from him. But as a team, then a friend of mine the other day, I can't remember it was something about team, the TEAM, what it all stood for, and now I just can't even remember. But that would be a situation where Wall would come in and help you if it need be, because we got to know that nothing is off the table for this year. Yeah, and you have to come to grips with if you were to get a Wall.
Well, Wall, Westbrook, all them kind of guards that run 100 miles per hour, at what point do you got to say to yourself, maybe I don't need to jack up 30 and 40 shots a game?
That's coaching, though, too.
Yeah,
still coaching.
But remember I told you, on the court, I can't make you shoot, and I can't make you stop shooting. So it's like, it's both. So with John Wall, like, yeah, if you're going to run 100 miles per hour, one, who's running with you on the Knicks? Two, you don't gotta shoot up every minute.
Well, again, yeah, that's what I mean. But
so you could pass it, you could run 100 miles per hour, bring in the defense and kick it out to your players, and maybe our shooters look better. Maybe Bullock, quickly, even RJ, maybe they look better because now they're hitting shots because you dragging in. I don't know.
But those conversations would have to be had.
Better.
Yeah, but I mean, those conversations would have to be had, and your coaching, whoever would be that coach, those are the type of things that we got to put in our offense, rather you get those guys or not.
Yeah, you get them for nothing.
Well, I don't know if you get them for nothing. I'm talking about we got to have an offensive flow, no matter who we get, and especially with somebody like a Wall. But I know we can't take Wall off the table right now because of the ties that the Knicks have. And one thing I think the Knicks are going to try to come back and do is not lose the point guard battle. Like you said with Trey, the stuff that they're taunting, now you got to come back and play defense on the other end. So you ain't got time to be nobody. You got to get back on D. Yeah, I
don't know. John Wall, excitement is there.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's going to be a whole lot between now and, I think now it's in August, when it usually be July 1st. I think now it's like August 1st or something. But anyway, in that realm, a lot of speculation going to come up. We're going to be, keeping y'all informed, via YouTube or on our Instagram channel. But we're going to be diving into this. So Knicks news is never dead. We want y'all to like, comment, and subscribe. The likes are going down. We need them back up. And anything for you, Joey?
Oh, nah, we chilling.
All right, so we see y'all next time. Remember, Knicks news is never dead. Peace.
Peace.